I've seen so many retirees arbitrarily take what others do in their retirement when they find out they have more than enough and apply it to their own situation. So today I want to talk about one of the bigger regrets I tend to see from a spending perspective. And then on the back end, what I've seen some clients that I really respect, how they handle it instead. Hey everyone, I am Andrew. I'm a CFA Charterholder and a CFP professional who also owns Lever Wealth Management, which is the financial advisor for people who scare financial advisors. And I shoot these videos on Thursday, and today is Thursday, and I actually recorded this video once, but forgot to plug in my mic, and then it started raining. So whatever, we're here, we can get into it. I want to start with a story because I think it's illustrative of the point. I remember a person once who retired, and then about 18 months afterwards is when people usually are settling into the rhythm of retirement after working. And many times people get a goal because you've been successful in life in any particular situation. Yeah, many times we have goals, and that just rings true even in retirement. And so they realized they had excess. They realized they didn't want to give kids the money right now. And they said, you know what? I think my kids are going to end up moving south. So we'll buy a house then. We figure out how much they can spend and everything. And they do. But they had never really been there all that much. And I'm not going to mention where it was. Hadn't spent all that much time. And long story short, one of the kids does move down south. However, a couple of years later, the kid takes a job somewhere else, moves to a completely different part of the country. And so they end up with this home, this second home that they have to manage, have to take care of. And the kids, and hopefully prospective grandkids, aren't even there, right? I've seen this so many times. And the amount of times I get asked, hey, what about a second home? If I got paid $1 every time somebody asked me that, I would have enough money. Many times we take goals that others have had and we say, well, that is what I should do with my life as well. However, your life is completely different from your neighbors for a variety of reasons. An issue with the idea of a second home, buying a second home, it's a very large capital expenditure, but from a spending perspective, many times it ends up being, I'll call it net worth neutral over a period of time. You know, you have some capital appreciation. Maybe you spend a little bit more, and if you rent it out some, maybe even pay your mortgage or something like that. So from a financial perspective, assuming you have enough money, I don't see it as that big of a deal. The bigger deal is the burden of managing two homes, especially as you get older. That I have seen on the back end be a bear, and just like I said, a burden for people to take care of, because you have to furnish both places, you have to keep both places up, you have to keep the insurance current, you have to mow the grass, and there are ways to mitigate, buying a condo or something along those lines. But even with that, you end up with the issue of, do I like and want to live in this place? Which is a question far fewer people ask themselves than should. What I have seen people that I respect, and you, I think, have gone about it in a good way, do, is they say, you know what, I've only been to Florida, as an example, for vacation, for a week at a time. I'm going to go for 3 weeks to the place that I think I want to go, or live at. And then they kind of take notes. And then they visit 2 or 3 other places in Florida. And then they visit Arizona. And then they narrow down the list, and they go, you know what? I do want to live in Florida, but I only want to do it 2 months out of the year, and I don't really want to manage the place, so I'll just rent. And they expense it within the financial plan instead. At minimum, you've lowered the inertia for a good decision. And at maximum, what you've ended up doing is you've made the decision so clear by the end that if you want to buy a house, you pretty well know it's the right decision, because you've already tried and A/B tested all of these different decisions. And so my encouragement to you today would be, ask yourself, am I wanting a second home? because I've seen a lot of people who have regretted it on the back end, not for financial reasons necessarily, but just from the burden and not having taken the time to truly think it through. And if you think you are wanting to snowbird or do something different, that's fine. But be systematic and strategic in how you go about that. So I hope everyone enjoyed this video. Until next time, see y'all.